following is a Galactic Digital Studios production. This is Life Talk, part of the Closing Tag Network. So I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the new format, the new look and feel of all of the Closing Tag podcasts, or all the podcasts on the Closing Tag Network, but particularly for Life Talk. Now, I have talked on here ad nauseum for the last several months about having a plan, about having a set plan for your life and for goals and for, aspirations and things in your life that you want. But I think the one thing that kind of gets lost in the message is the ability to adapt, the ability to pivot, the ability to change focus, not entirely away from what you want, but maybe kind of going about it a different way. And let me explain. So let's say, for instance, your goal, your life aspiration, and this is kind of a weird aspiration to have, but to each their own. Your life aspiration is to be a CPA, certified personal assistant, or a certified personal accountant, I should say. And your original goal, your original means of accomplishing this goal was to go to college, graduate with a major in business and whatnot, and kind of going about it that way. Let's say, for instance, life gets in the way a little bit. Either your grades aren't up to snuff, or finances kind of get in the way. Maybe there's a major life event, heaven forbid, there's a death in the family or something along those lines. Something happens in your life that causes you to either put a pause on your goal or on the means of accomplishing that goal. And suddenly you can no longer go about that, achieving that goal by those means. So what do? Do you give up? Do you just completely scrap that goal altogether and go after something else? Or do you do some research and realize, okay, plan A didn't work. Maybe let's try plan B. And with certified personal assistant or personal accountants, I don't know enough about that particular line of work to know what other avenues would entail about getting that CPA, because I have a hard enough time with my own finances to really understand what a CPA would be able to do, or how someone would go about getting a CPA. Or maybe it's, something a little bit more generic or generalized. Like getting a business, opening a business and, having something that's profitable. In this day and age, it's practically next to impossible to open a small business and have it be profitable right away. You're going to have roadblocks. You're going to have, difficulties. You're going to have adversity. So what do? Do you just give up altogether on owning a business, or do you pivot? The ability to pivot and adapt is one of the greatest things that you could possibly ever get in life. And it's one of the greatest things ever because the ones that can adapt quickly and the ones that can, course correct and, okay, plan A didn't work, we're going to go plan B. Sorry. Burping. Plan B didn't work, so maybe we try plan C or plan D, and have a plan for, have a contingency plan for just about everything in life. I'll take, as I usually do on this podcast, myself as an example, my personal life as an example. My goal over the last 14, 15 years has been to be a web developer, to be a successful web developer, and not just a web developer, but someone that works with small businesses. Small businesses, to me, have always felt like that's the way to go. I mean, it'd be easy for me to bust my butt and really crank out, training and whatnot, and try to get hired on at an Amazon or at a Walmart or at, some of these other places that are hiring ad nauseum different web developers. It'd be easy for me to do that, but that's not where the excitement is. That's not where, my heart is. Now, I have had to go and get a job at different big businesses, well, at least bigger than mine. And I have had to go that route and pivot and course correct. But I've also had to change how I do certain things to where, okay, this wasn't working before, but maybe if I tried this instead, okay, this isn't working. Maybe if I tried this instead, and just have like contingency plans and whatnot, course corrections and whatnot, to help get myself back on track and get myself back to where I want to be to achieve the goals that I want. So for me, it was from, okay, I can create very simple 4 or 5 page websites that are static. And I'm going to kind of go a little bit into the weeds as far as static versus dynamic. Static basically means I have to be the one to make the changes on the website. And that's highly inconvenient, not just for me, but it's also highly inconvenient for the consumer, for the client, because they're the ones calling me at 2 or 3 in the morning and saying, hey, and that has actually happened, by the way. I have been woken up by clients calling me at 2 or 3 in the morning, basically saying, hey, there's something that I need to have done on the website, like right now. Can you get it? Can you hop on and get it done? And of course, me being me, sure, yeah, okay, cool. I can do that real quick. Click. And I end up waking up at 3 in the morning to take care of this small thing that takes me like 10 minutes. Now, imagine that is now completely in the hands of the client without the client messing with any of the design or the layout or anything else. They're just affecting the content. So it's pivoted from, okay, I'm doing simple HTML websites, static websites, to now I'm learning how to have more dynamic websites, something that the client can then go in at 2 or 3 in the morning, make a simple edit that takes them 10 minutes, maybe 15 tops. And the power's out of my hands. As long as the website doesn't crash or there's no breaking changes in the design, we're good. We're golden. I can sleep comfortably knowing that that is taken care of. Or, okay, we have a website that this client particularly needs done, but there's no database. So they have no means of selling anything. They have no means of, selling anything that's on like Etsy or something like that. Or they have an Etsy store and they want the Etsy store displayed, or the items from the Etsy store displayed, but we don't do any of the design aspect of it. Pivoting from that to, we can create your own database. We can create your own shop. We can create your own ability to sell things on your website. As I'm popping my knuckles. We can create the idea to build your own website or build your own shop on your website. And you now have the power to sell things on your website without having to go through Etsy, without having to go through Shopify, without having to go through Wix, without having to go through any of these avenues that are probably taking a huge percentage out of your sales. And we're able to do that because years ago I pivoted and said, this is not a sustainable business model. I need to adapt, and I need to learn how to do these other things that can then put more control and more power and more ability, not just in my hand, but also in the client's hands. And once I realized how to do that, once I pivoted and once I adapted, I was able then to not only make more money as a small business, I was able to bring in more customers as a small business. And once I was able to do that, the sky's the limit. And that's something that anybody can do. I don't care what line of work you're in. I don't care what business you're running. You can do that. You listening to this, you watching this, you can do that. It doesn't matter if you're selling essential oils. It doesn't matter if you're trying to run your own food cart. It doesn't matter if you're trying to sell cell phones. Hell, you could be selling pot in Washington or Oregon or California or Colorado or wherever it's legal these days. You could be selling that and you could still learn to adapt. You could still learn to say, okay, this idea is not working. Let's try something different. Let's mixing. It doesn't have to be something radical. It doesn't have to be completely changeable or completely change how you do your thing. You can make small little changes here and there. And I promise you, if plan A doesn't work, and you go to a plan B, and plan B is just like a carbon copy of plan A with like a few tweaks and changes here and there, that's still a plan B. That's still a change. That's still adapting. And that's still something that you can then say, okay, that's not working. Let's try plan C. And plan C can be a carbon copy of plan B, but with just a little bit more changes here and there. And go all the way down to the alphabet if you want. You can even include the Spanish alphabet. There's like, 29 letters in the Spanish alphabet? A, B, C, Ch. Yeah. And make changes as you go and take note of what changes you're making. Take note of how you're adapting and why you're making the changes that you made to your plan, to your goal, to your, to your journey. And ultimately, eventually, you get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm starting to experience more success. I'm starting to experience more customers coming in. I'm starting to bring in more money. I'm starting to be happier in life. I'm starting to have more time that I can spend with family, with friends. I'm starting to be able to enjoy more things in life. That's ultimately what it's all about. Having the freedom to do what we want in life. That's ultimately what any of us want. Now, it could be that you want to start your own Twitch channel. It could be that you want to start your own YouTube channel. It can be as simple as you want to create content on the side while you're also working. And you want to then capitalize on that content by opening a Patreon, by opening, all these different avenues and basically making it so that it's profitable. And then on top of that, giving people what they want to a certain extent, at least to a legal extent, I should say, by subscribing to Patreon. I know Patreons that offer, exclusive content that someone may want to listen to or watch for $2-3 a month, and you'd be surprised how many people want that exclusive content if they believe enough in the content. And that's a way that you can pivot. Another way that you can pivot and make adjustments and adapt is by really sitting down and being honest with yourself on why it is that you're doing what you're doing. I've shared my vision board in the past. And, I have my reasons, my whys, as to why I'm doing what I'm doing, whether it be running the business, Galactic Digital Studios, whether it's the business, whether it's the podcasts, whether it's the Twitch streams, whether it's me working part-time or full-time, whether it's any number of things. I've shared why I do what I do in the past. And it boils down to the ability to do what I want as far as traveling and seeing the world. It boils down to me spending more time with my daughter. And it boils down to me just having more money to be able to afford certain things, like buying my own house, not having to rent anymore, like buying better equipment, like buying toys for my cat, apparently. Like being able to take up cooking lessons. That's something I've always wanted to do. It's a goal that I have. I want to be able to learn how to cook. Not like cook hamburgers or something like that. I already know how to do that. Hell, I know how to cook stuffed burgers. But exotic meals that, people pay $30, $40, $50 for a plate of. Stuff like that. Being able to do that is a goal that's been on my goal list for years now. I just have never had the money to go take culinary classes or to even, sign up for a master class from Gordon Ramsay or one of the other people that are on master class. That's something that's on my long-term vision board. Something that's on my long-term vision board is being able to work remotely. I'm finally able to say that I can work remotely. I can work wherever I want. And it's not going to matter if I'm here in Utah or on some beach out there in California or Oregon or Washington, or if I'm anywhere where I can get a decent signal for Wi-Fi, I'm good. And it's because I've worked and I've adapted. I've adjusted different things here and there. That's something that I want for you. I don't even know you personally, I don't think. And I want the same thing for you. I want you to be able to achieve your goals. And I want you to be able to achieve all the dreams that you have in your life. And if this message of adaptability and adjusting and being able to pivot, if that message reaches out to even 5 people and changes 5 people's lives today or anytime within the next week, I feel that I will have done my part and done a service for the world. So, more than ever, I'm imploring you to share this video with everybody that you know. It can be friends, can be family, could be, distant colleagues, it could be former coworkers, it could be anybody. But share the video share the message, and look up the other videos that I've done in the past for Life Talk. I've done a few of them now. But that's something that I want for you, is I want you to be successful and be happy and be, content with life, because there's so much negative in the world. There's so much negative, and oh, you can't do this, or you can't do this, or you'll never be able to do this. So much of that in the world right now. I'm telling you, Mr. or Miss or Mrs., whoever you are, you have the power to be able to change your life in ways that you don't even know yet. If I can do it, someone that's dealt with his fair share of issues in the past, both legally and medically, if I can do it, you can do it. I know you can. You know you can. You just have to put in the effort. You just have to put in the work and hopefully take some of these lessons that I've been giving you over the last several months and really take to heart some of the lessons that I've been given in imparting on you. So, with that said, I want you to know that reviews are open and welcome on Spotify. If you are watching this on Facebook, like, share, comment. Share with friends, share with family, share with everyone. This video post on the Closing Tags Facebook page is publicly accessible. Even people that I've personally blocked in the past can watch this right now. So share with everybody, Share and share alike is what I say. Or as I used to say, sharing is a good experience. If you're watching this on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel, help me bump these numbers up. Hit the bell for notifications. That way you're informed every time a video is dropped. And everybody that's interested, I started this past week on twitch.tv/owlthegeek recording these podcasts live. Be like Charitable Ale. Come watch me, even if you have nothing to contribute other than one really long comment about Streamrise, whatever this is. Come watch me. Come watch me record these podcasts live. Because it's amazing. It's amazing what you will learn and what you will get out of it. I will also be doing tech centric streams every Monday and Wednesday going forward. I'll be doing game streams every Tuesday and Thursday going forward, unless something changes. And I want to thank you for listening, for watching, for downloading, for donating, for doing everything you can. Oh, by the way, donations are welcome also on theclosingtag.com. That's theclosingtag.com. But if you've listened, watched, downloaded, or donated to help move this thing along, your efforts are not going unnoticed. So thank you. And I hope you all have an amazing month of May, because that's usually when that's pretty much when this is going to be dropping, is first weekend of May. But hopefully you have an amazing month of May. I hope you accomplish everything that you want out of life. Maybe not in the next month, but hopefully you are able to at least take that step, take that first step, and make something amazing out of your life. So until next time, guys, remember to include your closing tags. Thank you. This has been a Galactic Digital Studios production.